Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I thought it'd be cool to talk about the benefits of taking a little break from Games Workshop from time to time to try new games and meet new people. There seems to be a trend about taking a break from the hobby lately, and I watched a video by Tabletop Minions earlier which was titled Taking a Hobby Break. I'll put a link down below so you can check it out. I've also been watching Guerrilla Miniature Games lately as Ash has been redoing his studio, moving things around, and it's been good to see him taking a break from the usual content to show us some behind the scene footage like this. Now it got me thinking, because recently I've been trying out some different games. I haven't been putting all my attention into Games Workshop, which is something I've been doing for the past, what feels like a year or so. And for sure I've been doing the odd video here or there about trying different games that aren't Games Workshop. And I've also been doing a little series where here and there I'll put a video up called Indie Game Spotlight, looking at new games on the scene, focusing on independent creators. Now you may have seen I've been playing a game called Moonstone recently, and it's really got hold of me. I love painting the models. I'm spending more time painting an individual model than I ever have done, and I'm really enjoying the game. And sometimes when I've got a choice between playing that or a Games Workshop game, I'm often choosing Moonstone now. It's also got me back into narrative, playing for the fun and not the competition, and I've met loads of cool people as well. Now this isn't a kind of hate video on Games Workshop or anything like that. I'm still a huge fan, obviously, and I love doing the videos when we see all the new products like we saw at the Nova Open online preview recently. And I'm also still enjoying Age of Sigmar, playing with my Stormcast Eternals. But one thing I have found is that now, given the choice, I'd rather build and paint something a little bit different. And I'm getting the most out of the models I've got. Same goes for Space Wolves. I'm going to stick with those and not try and build another army just yet for Games Workshop. Games Workshop has also opened up a community locally in Liskeard at the Little Shop DVD and Games, my local game store. And it's run by an awesome guy, John. And so it's a brilliant place to go. We meet there every week to play our games of Warhammer, and we also do little Moonstone meetups as well, but predominantly it's Warhammer there. And when it all started, and when John started the club up, it really brought everybody together in the community and gave us other people to play with. And that's something that's a real big thing for me from Games Workshop. It's so popular that lots of people play it, and so there's always the chance to find people to play in your area. So for me, the social side of gaming is what it's all about. It really changed the hobby for me once we could actually go out again and play games with other people. Be in the same room as people after COVID was brilliant. And I've even started doing tournaments locally as well. So I do the TTSG Southwest Age of Sigmar and 40k tournaments. And I've done one of each now. They both went down really well. We got, 28 people to the Age of Sigmar one, which was awesome. And everyone had a great time playing with all the custom terrain. And it was really fun. With that in mind, I hope that shows I'm really not against Games Workshop. I'm a big fan, and I wouldn't spend as much time on it if I didn't like it. But I do find that when I make the videos for YouTube, it's always around what I'm into at the time, what I'm actually doing. Nothing's forced. I only make videos about things I want to, and then hopefully that comes across as it should do. That, I'm passionate about the hobby, and I want to share the hobby with you. And so I don't want to make videos about things I don't want to, because that would just be boring for me, and I'm sure it would come across as boring for you watching as well. So lately, you may have noticed that more and more games are coming in that aren't necessarily Games Workshop. And I'm definitely going to continue with all the Games Workshop content, certainly the previews every week and the how to play videos, things like that. But I've certainly been looking at other areas now, and I've made friends with loads of people, doing some great collaborations with companies like Moonstone, Raybox, Warlord Games, and I definitely want to be bringing more of that to the channel now. Let's get back to the theme then. So why is it good to take a break from Games Workshop and try other games? And for me, I've just found that it's introduced me to another group of people. It's linked us up with other games clubs as well, locally, which is awesome. There's one in St Austell, which isn't far from where I am, in Liskeard, Cornwall, and they're called Dice Smash TV. They've got a YouTube channel. They've built a brilliant community in the area around Age of Sigmar and Moonstone, and I think they've got the Moonstone bug as well. It's really taken hold here in the Southwest and in other regions across the world now. Moonstone's really showed me that if a game is good enough, you can find other players and build a group with them in your local community. So even if Games Workshop is the most prominent and you want to play it to meet other people, I think if you can find a game that is as good as Moonstone and you play it, you enjoy it, and then you just introduce others to it, they're going to want to play it more and more, and you can certainly arrange meetups like I've been doing with the Little Shop DVD and Games in my local town, and we're getting together every couple of weeks now, and the good, 10 people at a time are coming along to play the game. So I think that's a really good turnout for an independent game, and it's growing and growing all the time. So that's something that's really took me by surprise, and it's just been awesome fun to try something new. There's so many games out there. I've covered loads of them on the channel already, and hopefully you've seen some of those videos too already. But, it's really nice to try something out that's different, and also I found that I was playing a lot more competitive games with Games Workshop. I got into that cycle of things. I've only been in the hobby 3 years, so it's still a learning curve all the time. I've been gone through narrative when I first started with Warcry, playing on my own mostly, but really enjoying that. Then as I started playing with other people socially, it was kind of getting more and more competitive, and that competitive side of the game's really crept up and grown lately with the group of people that we play at the local shop. And of course with the tournaments I'm running, there's a competitive side to that. And as much as I like doing the tournaments, I prefer to run them rather than play in them. And then for me, when I play, I like to play the narrative side of gaming. But it's been really interesting to play both sides of things. But now I'm finding myself going back towards the narrative, almost where I started with Warcry, getting back into the skirmish games a lot more, and then just playing for the fun of it rather than trying to win the game and trying to build lists for different armies to beat other lists. So I think that's the sort of place that I'm at now. I'm really enjoying playing games like Moonstone, where it's much more relaxed. You literally just pick the models you like. Who cares what they do? Who cares if you lose? You're just playing for the sake of playing and going through stories and playing different scenarios. And that's been awesome fun, and I can highly recommend it. If you haven't done that yet, maybe you've only been playing Games Workshop and only been playing competitively, I definitely recommend trying out this narrative, more relaxed style of play. Some other good reasons to play other games are you find interesting rule sets. You're going to discover different miniatures and models that you can use. And you can use those models in lots of different games, like miniature agnostic games. You're also going to come across lots of cool terrain, something that's a little bit different. Maybe try and build some MDF. It certainly looks different on the tabletop. And even try something completely different, a different brand, and then have a go at that too. There are some awesome creators out there, and it's really good to support them. I really like Master of Miniatures. I'll tell you a bit more about them at the end of this video because they are sponsoring this one, which is awesome. And with the new series coming up for Games Workshop on Amazon, that's certainly going to have a big impact on the hobby, make it even more popular probably than we're already seeing with the release of Warhammer 10th edition. But there we go. So there's a lot of downsides with that, of course, because now all our 9th edition books are obsolete, which is the first time that's really happened to me with 40k or the bigger games. And I had quite a few books, so that was a big shock. And I think that was one of the reasons that started pushing me towards other games, to be fair, and why I'm looking into covering Warlord games on the channel now. I'm really looking forward to getting bolt action here. I'm going to be starting with Gentleman's War, this starter set, so I'll be unboxing that, getting it all built up, going through the rules and everything. So that's exciting. Really looking forward to trying out something a little bit different and just spreading things out a bit. So it won't be a Games Workshop video every single day. I'll be doing all different videos now across different game sets. So one of the main things is just having enough games, enough sets to show you, and news as well, with companies keeping us all up to date with what's going on. And I think Warlord Games are certainly doing that, and I'm really excited to be collaborating with them, and I'll bring you a lot more info on that soon, but look out for some of these different sets that will be coming very soon to the channel. I'm really grateful to Games Workshop, and especially my local shop, the Little Shop DVD and Games in Liskeard, for introducing me to some great people. Got to know them over the past year or two, and it's been really cool. But as I've started coming away and thinking about other games and how to get other people in the community involved in them, I've even started to look at doing different things. And now one thing I'm involved with is the Little Shop Armed Forces Model Club that we're going to be running every week in Liskeard as well. This is going to be for veterans and serving armed forces, and it's just going to be a very small group where everyone can come in a relaxed environment, be themselves, and we're going to just be building all different models, playing all different games, painting as well, and just a real cool place to hang out, share stories, and just be ourselves. And if you've ever served in the armed forces, you'll know that the sense of humour is a little bit different to civilian life, and so I think sometimes it's good to get together and share that sense of humour a little bit. There's so many benefits to this hobby. I just think it's fantastic. And there's a website in the UK called Models for Heroes. I'll put a link in the description down below. And here's one of their pages. They put together some different links to all sorts of research here that demonstrates taking part in arts and crafts can improve health outcomes and increase well-being. I know firsthand how my life's improved since I've been in the hobby, and hopefully the little shop Armed Forces Veterans Model Club can bring other people that well-being too. Here's something else that we've started locally as well. My boy is going to be running the Treasure Hunters, a Wild West zombie adventure tabletop RPG. And he uses the Zombicide Wild West game, but adds an RPG level to it so that people can kind of role play as they play through the game. He adds his own little rules and flair to it, and he does a fantastic job. So we're going to be running that at a local community centre in Liskeard too, and that's going to be awesome. That's going to be aimed predominantly at homeschoolers, and so yeah, that'll be a fun little club. And again, just thinking outside the box, looking at other games and how you can play those games in the community, get other people involved, and everyone can have fun. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. It's a bit of a ramble from me today, but this is what I've been thinking about for the past few weeks as I've been planning for the next 6 to 12 months ahead, and I've been working at how I can kind of get involved in the community more, get away from behind the computer, get out there and really get to meet people and spread the hobby around, because it's great fun and I've had lots of benefits from it. Hopefully other people will too, and so I think it's a really good thing that we could all do in our community. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And a massive thank you to Master of Miniatures for sponsoring this video. That's a great place to go if you're looking for some new miniatures for any of your miniature agnostic games, or games like D&D, anything like that. Here's one that I've got for my Blood Bowl team. Fantastic, that tree man, I love it. But yeah, lots to see, and I really like this company because they focus on the artists and creators behind the sculpts as well. So they don't claim credit for it, they share exactly who's involved, who makes them, and I think they just do a brilliant job. They're also primed, ready to go as well, and highlighted, so when you get them, you can get painting straight away. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, it'd be great if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.